Hi everybody. I thought what I would do for you today is just make a quick video that shows you the strategies we use in my classroom when kids are trying to spell a word that they don't know. So there's a number of steps that we go through, and at first, the first few times they might need to go through these steps with an adult sitting next to them and helping them through, with the goal being that then they can do it independently, so that when they're writing and they come across a word they don't know, they've got a few strategies they can call on to help them have a go at spelling that word. So the first thing I do is get them to say the word to me, and that's so I can check that they're actually saying the word properly. Because if they're not pronouncing the word properly, it's impossible for them to be able to spell it correctly. So let's use the word frog as an example. I'd ask them to say it to me a few times and to really stretch out the sounds when they're saying it. So it would be f, r, o, g. And they might need to do that quite a few times before they can separate those sounds individually. It's quite a tricky thing for them to be able to do. For example, with a word that started with a f, an F sound, I might be really looking to make sure they're saying an F sound, not a TH sound. So I'm looking at their mouth to check exactly what sound they're saying. That's the first step. Once I'm happy that they're saying it correctly, we go to counting the number of sounds in each word. So not the number of syllables, but the number of individual sounds. And the way we do it is the same way that we do it in our smart spelling sequence. So we hold up a fist and we're going to put up a finger for each sound that we say. So with our word frog, I would go f, r, o, g. And I would say, how many sounds did we get? We got 4 sounds. And again, they might need to do that a few times before they're counting correctly the number of sounds. Once they have counted the sounds, in their book where they're writing, we draw a space for each sound. So for frog, it was 4 sounds. F, r, o, g. Then it's a matter of asking your child to write down the letter that makes each sound they hear. So in frog, I would say, well, what was the first sound? And they say f. I'd say, well, what letter makes f? Oh, it's an F. So we put down an F. Sometimes your child will know the sound, but they might have forgotten which letter makes that sound. And if that's the case, I would point to an alphabet chart and say, well, let's go along until we remember which letter makes that sound. So I would point at all the letters and eventually they'll get to R and say, oh, R makes a sound. And we're going to put that in. What often happens, particularly when kids are just learning to spell, they can hear the end sound and the beginning sound okay, but those middle sounds are very tricky. If they're not sure what should go here, it's okay for them to leave that blank and just put in the G sound at the end. But I often say to them, just put in the sounds that you can hear or that you can work out, but if you need to leave it blank, that's okay. I do this because I want to encourage kids to keep going with their writing, not to stop or not to get hung up on not being able to exactly spell a word, because that can really interrupt the flow of writing. So I'll just put up those 4 steps again on the board. Okay, so here are our 4 steps again for spelling an unknown word. So number 1 is say the word. Number 2, count the number of sounds in each word, and we do that by making a fist and holding up a finger for each sound that we hear. Then we've got draw a line for each sound and write in the letters that make those sounds. And if they need to leave a few blank, that's okay. At this stage, what I'm trying to do is encourage them to write down the sounds that they hear, but not to get stuck on an unknown word and to keep going with their piece of writing. I hope that helps. If you need any clarification or you want me to go over it again, just send me a message on ClassTag and that's fine. I'm happy to go over it again. All right, have a great day, guys.